Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Priti. For those of you who are new here, I'm a photographer based out of Manchester here in the UK. Got my scarf on today, it's a bit chilly. I work primarily within the music industry, so PR sessions and live events. I also have a background in weddings, different portrait sessions, travel photography, so I've got a vast amount of background, if that makes sense, and I share videos here based on photography, travel, blogs, and a bit of mixture here and there just to keep things moving. So if it kind of sounds like your type of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you here, part of the community. I also run my own Facebook group, which is called The Profitable Photographer. I will link that down below, so do come over and say hello if you would like to. It would be great to see you over there too. Today's video is one that I found really important when I was first starting out in business, and it's all to do with pricing your photography services and how that's going to impact your business going forward. So we're going to break it down and look at a lot of the elements that you need to consider when pricing your photography. So I guess the number one starting point, if you like, is figuring out how much you want to make in your business. So whether that be quarterly goals, yearly goals, however you want to break it down, you should be reverse engineering. So for example, you want to make £50,000 in your business, you need to work backwards and figure out how are you going to get to that £50,000. So in the instance that you are a portrait photographer or wedding photographer, you may say, okay, so my wedding services are going to be £2,000. I need 25 of those a year to hit the 50,000 mark, for example. So yeah, get clear on your figures. That's number one, I would say. The next thing is figuring out how many hours you'll be working. So there's a lot of different elements. I've got notes, so I will keep looking down maybe. When it comes to pricing your packages, you need to really figure out how long it's going to take per session, if that makes sense. So although as a photographer you're photographing, that's just a small element or a little element of what you're doing. All the admin things that you're doing, so chasing up emails, replying to emails, your editing time, your travel costs, those things need to be taken into account, which I'm going to go into further. They need to be taken into account when you are offering the different the pricing options to your clients. So a couple of elements I would say as a photographer, by all means, I must say as well, is that the pricing of photography, these are things that have worked for me. This is not something that may work for everyone. That's a bit of a disclaimer because everyone runs their business in similar ways but very different ways. What works for me may not work for you, but the general ideas are going to work. So there's no wrong or right way of doing it. It's up to you whether you take this advice. Yeah, literally just hopefully it will be helpful information for you. So yeah, a couple of the elements that you need to consider when it comes to pricing your photography. So how many hours you want to be working. So in the instance that you're doing a portrait session, you need to figure out how long is that portrait session going to last. So do you want to offer only half-day sessions? So that could be like a block of 4 hours to your clients, or would you like to have something a bit more flexible where it's only an hour and a half for a session? Figure that out and put into place like a structure for your business. So whatever you want to work, it's up to you. You call the shots. Going on from that, so we'll run with the 4-hour option. So you've decided that you want to go ahead and offer clients half-day sessions. It could be family sessions or portrait sessions for other fields, whatever. Then you're going to go ahead and look into the costs of shooting. So are you going to be using a studio? Do you already have a studio? If you don't already have a studio, will you be hiring a studio for 4 hours? So look into the costing of that. So if you want to make, say, £250 for like a 4-hour session in a day, the cost of the studio needs to be added on top of that. So the studio may cost I don't know, £75 for 4 hours. So then your base rate would be £250 plus your studio cost, which is like £75. So that brings it up to like what, £325. And that's the price that you would pitch to your clients. Then you've got your editing time on top of that. So you've done your photo session, your clients are happy, you're going to go away and you're going to edit these photos. You're retouching, any editing, like photoshopping things out, depending on what type of shoot you're doing, that's all going to take time. So is it going to take you an hour to do this? Do you already have your editing techniques down to a T? Is it going to take you 2 hours to do? Is it going to take you 3 hours? Are you going to have to outsource it to a retoucher? Depends on how you run your business and what and how much of the business you're kind of hands-on with. So again, you need to figure out the costing of that and add it to your base rate. So $250 for your base, that's how much you want to make, plus your cost of studio, for example. And then you've got your editing time on top of that, however much you want to charge. Then you've got your travel costs. So are you just traveling to the studio? Are you, is your $250 inclusive of the travel costs? If you're shooting a wedding, for example, are they located a couple of hours drive, which you'll need to add on top of your package? Definitely break these down. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write these down so that you've got these points to kind of consider when pricing your packages. Things like admin tasks or emailing as well. So when you get like a inquiry come through, you've got to reply to that email. That is that's time that's coming out of your day. If you need to make a call with this client, that's coming out of your day. So these are the things that you need to, again, take into consideration as it all starts adding up. So you need to make sure that you're kind of making, obviously, your profits in your business there and not time wasting. So you've done your photo shoot, you've done your editing, and then regardless of what session it is that you're doing, you may decide to offer digital prints only, or would you like to offer albums and prints? So again, you would go ahead and look into the cost of the physical prints, if that's something that you're going to offer, and then add that onto your base fee, for example. Not only that, but if you're going to be doing the prints, that's going to take some time to edit and cull your photos. Go to your printer, say to them, this is the ones that I want. Go through that, do the shipping costs, add that to your base fee. So you guys kind of get the idea here of really figuring out what's going to work for you and your business and the profits that you're going to make. Another element is second shooting. So will you have an assistant on your photo shoot if you're doing like a studio session? If you're a wedding photographer, do you want to have a second shooter to take, the detail shots or whatever? Then you're going to have to pay that photographer. So again, that needs to be included in your fee. And I think they are like the main sort of points to kind of look at when you are trying to put a price on your services. One of the things that you might struggle with when you're first starting out is obviously that belief and mindset on not really knowing your worth and how much you want to charge. Raise your prices as soon as you can, because one of the things that you'll struggle with is that when you are charging, say, budget prices at first, if that's something that you end up doing, you'll find it difficult to transition from budget pricing to higher end pricing because your mindset is kind of all over the show a little bit. So the sooner that you can raise your prices is the better, because it's better for you and your business, because obviously you want to start making profit as quick as possible, really, on your hard work that you're putting into your business and your freelance work. Depending on your clients and what options you've got, you may decide to have, say, 2 or 3 different packages that are very straight to the point, which is great because it avoids confusion and it's more clear for your clients. So if a client inquires, you can say, these are the 3 options here, bam, bam, bam. This is what you get, bam, bam, bam. And don't be afraid. In fact, I would really encourage breaking down everything that you get in your packages so that the client is aware of what they're getting. half of the time, or 9 times out of 10, people don't know what they're paying for. So it's really important, you know, that you really go into depth and explain to them, this is how much it's going to be, but this is what you're going to get. And that's the value that you're kind of delivering to them. Because someone that's looking for a photographer, they just think it's photography, but it's not. It's your editing, it's your, you know, they're hiring you for your vision and the style of work, for example. And not only that, but your experience as well. It's taking you potentially years, definitely hours, to kind of what's the right word for it? Fine tune even, you know, your style of work and that vision that you've got that you can offer to your clients. So definitely have that as a structure as well and break it down for them. This is what you're getting. And that's the difference between someone hiring you as opposed to hiring someone else. So if you imagine, if you're on the lookout for a photographer or any type of service, you email 10 people, 9 get back to you with just vague responses and not real in depth, whereas that one person or 2 people might get back to you and say, okay, so you're getting this, blah, 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 and really, you know, personable responses and things like that. You're more likely to go with the 2 people or 1 person that's actually made an effort and seems genuinely interested in, obviously, the inquiry, if that makes sense. So definitely break it down to them as much as possible so that they can see the value that you're going to deliver as well. What else is there? They are the main things to consider, in all honesty. Looking at my list here, so really break it down and figure out what's going to be best for you in your business and how much you want to make in your business, and work backwards from that. Sometimes your clients, depending on who you're working with, it might just be a matter of like, this is our budget, do you want to shoot it? That's entirely up to you. If it's something that excites you, or if you feel like it's going to benefit you in any way or your business in any way, whether that be networking, new contacts, a new opportunity that could lead to other opportunities, things like that, then it's your business, it's your freelance work. You can be totally flexible, take it on board if you want. If you don't, say see you later to them. Entirely up to you. Hope you guys have found this useful. If you guys have got any further questions on pricing your photography services, I'm happy to reply and obviously help you. As I say, as a disclaimer, if you like, what works for me may not work for you, and I'm just trying to help people with their pricing, because I feel like a lot of creatives do not know how to price their services and are being, they're undercharging for their services. A lot of the time it is not worth taking on commissions if you're not being paid money as well. So you'll be chasing money in your business constantly if you are not being quite solid about it from the first instance. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. As I say, if you've got any questions, do comment below. I'll get back to you. I'd love to have you over on the Facebook group, so do head on over. I will be back soon, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content, and I'll be back in a couple of days. Bye.